Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that was me, only but a few days ago. Back when I used to think, oh, you know, those DJI Mavic Pro drones, they practically fly themselves. Ha ha ha! But sadly, the joke was on me, and I was not laughing. Don't be another statistic much like myself. Knowledge yourself up on your flying device, because the more you know, the more you'll drone. What's up folks, Justin Phillip here, and that is right. During the filming of my short film, the skate film, I did crash my Mavic Pro. It fell from 2 stories up, and the propellers went flying everywhere, the legs were wonky, but the lens still looked good. And luckily my fiance was there being an amazing first AD. What is her exact words were, look, we're gonna mourn the loss of this drone after the shoot, but we have like 20 more shots we have to get before the sun goes down. We gotta move on. And I hated hearing that, but I knew she was right, so we did. We ended up getting everything else we needed. The shot that I ended up getting to replace the drone shot, actually I feel was cooler, a little bit more artistic, and definitely not as just boring and cliche as a overhead drone shot. I actually climbed up on a roof with the shoulder rig, and yeah, you guys will see all that later. And to mention this real quick, I have an amazing plethora of behind the scenes to show you guys on my short film, the little skate film called Early 2000s, and I can't wait to show you guys all that BTS. However, I want to get to this drone topic, guys. Seriously, that's no joke, man. I used to think like, yeah, dude, you know, because I'm not passionate about drone flying, you know. I'm passionate about my Blackmagic, I'm passionate about my GHF, I'm passionate about cinematography. And for me, drone work just, I don't know, it's more of a videographer thing. I literally bought the drone just to get more jobs. There's a lot of high demand of clients wanting drone, you know, to get those extra cool B-roll shots, yada yada. I understand, you know, so it was more of a supply and demand thing. If it was left up to my own devices, I probably would have never bought a drone, okay? But I just got it because I got a good deal on it some time ago, and you know, I use it often, and especially on this new reality show that I'm shooting for. And that was part of the disaster. Watching that thing go down, I knew, okay, that went down on Saturday night. It crashed on Saturday. I had 2 jobs, today being Monday and Tuesday, and I still had this. I wanted to get this crane shot. That's one thing I like the drone for, to get like a fake crane shot, you know? And I wanted that for the closing shot of my short film for the following day on Sunday, and I just saw all this stuff caving down around me as soon as that thing fell from 2 stories up. And I just didn't know. I just said, what the hell, man? It's supposed to stop on its own, you know? And people always told me that. And here's the thing, guys. I watched tons of hours of YouTube videos about these Mavic drones, and it got a mind of its own. You can literally see here in the video, it's doing a complete 360 all on its own. I don't even have my fingers on the little joysticks. I'm holding the remote, but I'm not doing anything, and I'm literally watching this guy spin around 360 degrees, and then you can literally almost see me shrug my shoulders and say, well, fuck it. And I take it off anyways, and immediately after that, it just went boom. It took a hard right shoulder right into the pillar there, and it was about 2 stories up and just instantly plummeted to the ground. Now, after the shoot was over, luckily my fiance pulled me out of that. I was able to completely forget about the drone crash and went on and got all the rest of the shots for my short film. And then about 15 minutes after we wrapped that night, I remembered, oh, fudge, I crashed my drone. And, but you know, Marianne got on her phone and started searching for drone repair shops in LA while I was packing up all the gear. And she says, hey, look, I found this shop. It's the only one open. It's up in the valley. We'll get there an hour before it closes. Let's just get up there. And guys, we went up there, and it was an amazing experience, to say the least. It was so good of an experience at this shop that I have to plug these guys. First of all, they already had stellar reviews online, but it's called the Drone Repair Guys. Drone services, you can drop it off, you can mail it in if you guys aren't in the area. Just go to thedronerepair.com. Here's all their info right here. Guys, the guy, he spent 2 hours with us. He fixed my drone, he repaired it, he hooked me up with a set of noiseless blades, all new blades, fixed the arms, repaired my gimbal. It was $200, but later I found out other shops would have just made me replace the entire gimbal and charged me over twice the price. And he even told me later on, he said, yeah, I don't know why people want to do that. They want, they just want to replace the gimbal. It's easy to fix. And he's a pretty awesome guy, but beyond just repairing my drone and beyond just staying an hour past his closing time, he actually taught me some things that I didn't really know about. The first one is the fact that, I used to get the drone out, plug in the remote, and it would say ready to fly. And I'd say, okay, put the joysticks together, put it up in the air, and let's fly. But you're supposed to wait until it has all the GPSs in the area locked in. I never knew that. I never saw that on any videos on YouTube that I watched. So it goes, don't just fly it up in the air when it says ready to fly. You have to wait, and in parentheses, you'll see it says GPS. And once that comes on, and then you'll look on the side there, and you'll see your number will go up next to the GPS logo on your remote, your phone remote. You'll see the numbers of the GPS going up. And once it passes like 7, once it gets in the higher number of GPS, then it's more locked in with the GPS satellites that are around, and it won't forget where it is. It'll know where it is. So basically, when it says ready to fly, wait for it to say GPS in parentheses. Right up there in the left-hand corner of the remote, ready to fly, it'll say GPS. Then you can launch that thing. But also he told me what he recommends, especially with me, I already knew about the metal thing. It doesn't do well around metal and buildings, and here I am flying it between 2 buildings. So that's what I thought it was, and he said, yeah, it would have helped, one, if you would have waited for it to lock on to all the GPS satellites in the area, but also if I would have calibrated the compass right before I took it off, that would have helped it figure out where it was too. Basically what happened, it was flying in between those 2 buildings, there was too much metal around it, and the drone got confused of where it was, and when it gets confused, it wants to go home. But it didn't know where its home was because I flew it off without first letting it lock onto all of its GPS satellites, and also the compass wasn't calibrated. And this guy recommends calibrating the compass before every flight because it only takes a minute. And you know what? I was able to go back to filming the next day, which was yesterday, which was Sunday, and I did both those things. I waited for it to say GPS, in parentheses, and then I did a quick compass calibration, and he's right, it only takes a minute or so, and I got that crane shot that I wanted. So I thought, yeah, I got a lot of stuff in the bag to show you guys, but I wanted to do this little PSA on drones because, you know what? They don't just fly themselves. Don't be a silly cinematography guy like me and think that the drones are just whatever, back burner kind of thing, because it's not. Luckily, that was only a $200 mistake, and my entire drone wasn't destroyed, so that's good, and I could still get that crane shot on Sunday, and I can still do my work on my broadcast show today and tomorrow. So with that being said, guys, check them out if you have any problems with your drones, thedronerepair.com. Like I said, you can even mail it in. He brought this one out of a box, and it was destroyed. I mean, the guts were hanging out, the gimbal and the camera were completely dangling by one thread. All 4 arms were broken. He said it fell from like 120 meters or something crazy like that. I forget, like 300 meters, something crazy. And it was destroyed. And he had me and my fiance hold each one of the front arms, and that thing just, it started up still, and then Marianne was like, is it repairable? And he just looked at her and was like, of course. So check it out, guys. Be smart about your drone. Take those notes. Take it with what you will. I'm sure you guys are amazing drone flyers. I'm sure you all are amazing drone pilots and are not idiots like myself. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Big shout out and huge thank you to all of my subscribers. You guys rock. Keep in the comments and feedback coming in. Like I said, I got a lot of stuff in the can to show you guys. Lots of BTS on my thing. I did a BTS / lighting tutorial during a interview thing that I filmed for my fiance's short film. I have a whole nother lighting tutorial in the bag. Lots of stuff coming, guys, so stay tuned for that. As always, thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you like to. I don't want to tell you how to live your life. And with that, that is a wrap.